Good day, class. I am Teacher Ivan, your drafting teacher in TLE. How are you, class? I hope you're in a good situation right now. For today's topic, we will discuss about letterings. But before we proceed to our lesson, I would like you to try to answer these rumbled letters that you can see on the screen. If you are done, just send your answer through this link. In the field of drafting, we are required to have readable letters, right? Okay, class. Have you ever heard this quote? A good draftsman never letters without guidelines. For you, class, why we need to put a guidelines in our letterings? If you want to answer, kindly send your answer through this link. Okay, to begin with, what is lettering? Lettering is an act of drawing letters with styles, freehand, and mechanical method. Okay, class. There are 4 different parts of a guidelines. First is cap line, second one is waistline, third one is baseline, and lastly, the drop line. When we say cap line, it is the topmost line where the heading of a letter touches. When we say baseline, the line positioned at the center between the cap line and the baseline. When we say baseline, it is the line where all the letters stand. And lastly, the drop line, the line where the descending letter touch. I have here an example of letters that shows how to use these 4 layers of a guidelines. This is the cap line, this is the waistline, this is the baseline, and this is the drop line. There are 3 different parts of a letter. So, what is it? First, the stem, second one, the swash, and last, the lobe. When we say stem, it is the horizontal and vertical parts of a letter. When we say swash, it is the diagonal parts of a letter. When we say lobe, it is the curved parts of a letter. We are all familiar with the 2 cases of letter, the uppercase and the lowercase. I have here an example of letters that shows the different parts of it. First, the crossbar, this is the serif, this is the thick stem, this is the apex, this is the thin stem or the hair stem, and this is the fillet. Just like humans, letters have different parts and we can feel complete if we lose a parts of our body, right? The 3 parts of a letter are very important. Why? Because imagine that this letter A don't have a crossbar. Do you think that we can read it as letter A? Of course not. As a human, can you still run if you don't have legs? Of course not. That is how important the parts of a letter is. Okay, class, guidelines are very important in the process of drawing letters. They helps you to keep your letters in a proper proportion. The importance of good lettering cannot be overemphasized. The lettering can either make or break an otherwise good drawing. Knowledge on proportions, understanding of procedures and guidelines, and practice of correct skills of letters. There are different proportions in drawing letters. There are normal, compressed, and extended. When we say normal, it is used when writing letters. When we say compressed, it is when the space is limited. And lastly, the extended. It is when the space is too wide to write on. Let us not forget that lettering is drawing, not writing. Okay, class, for your assignment, just visit this link and answer the questions given. And that is just for today's lesson, and I hope that you learned something from what I taught. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.